Once upon a time, in a quaint little village nestled between rolling hills, there was a small farm owned by Mrs. Miller. Among the animals that Mrs. Miller cared for was a little hen named Penny. With her bright, curious eyes and a particularly vibrant set of feathers, Penny was a favorite among the children of the village. Penny spent her days wandering around the farm, always in search of new adventures. Her favorite place was the sprawling vegetable garden at the back of the farm. The garden was lush and filled with all sorts of plants: tomatoes, carrots, beans, and corn. Penny loved to scratch the dirt around the plants, searching for worms and seeds. One sunny morning, as Penny was exploring, she noticed something unusual. A section of the garden, where the corn had been thriving, looked wilted and droopy. Penny tilted her head in curiosity as she clucked softly, noticing that the roots seemed disturbed. Penny decided to investigate further. With her little feet, she began to scratch around the affected area, trying to understand what was causing the problem. To her surprise, she found that a group of sneaky little voles had made a network of tunnels beneath the garden. Determined to save her beloved garden, Penny devised a plan. She gathered her fellow hens and started a commotion, clucking loudly to draw the attention of Mrs. Miller. Hearing the ruckus, Mrs. Miller rushed over to see what had caused such a fuss. Penny led her to the spot where the voles had tunneled, and Mrs. Miller quickly realized the reason behind the wilting corn. With Penny's help, Mrs. Miller set up traps and deterrents to save the garden from further damage. Over the next few days, she worked tirelessly to revive the corn. Each morning, Penny would accompany Mrs. Miller, watching as the plants slowly regained their health. The garden flourished once more, and Penny was hailed as the little hero of the farm. The villagers admired Penny's cleverness and bravery, and the children often came to see the little hen who had saved the garden. From that day on, Penny's adventures continued, but she always remembered her role in protecting the farm's harvest.